I'm high, but I'm both right now. Can you hear the car outside where that was playing? If not, I just sound insane.
I thought you loved me, but shout out Imani. Yeah. You had you a baby, and now little mama's a mommy.
Hey, it's me, Imani. If you've been here for the welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been, nice to meet you. So, as you can tell, hopefully from the title and the look of my twist, because this is post-refresh, I decided to refresh my fashion twists. So I did them about 2 weeks ago, and it's going to be like half update, half this is how I refreshed them. Basically, they just weren't looking the same as they were when I first put them in, which makes sense because I was sleeping on them and touching them and all of that. But I just really wanted to get them back to a point where I felt more confident being in front of the camera and like having them look fresh. So I used 2 different methods to kind of like make them look a little bit cleaner. And if you're interested in seeing what those are, then please keep on watching. Also, I'm pretty sure as of filming this video that we've hit like 35 subscribers, which is amazing. And I know that's like a small number, but still I'm pretty excited. So thank you to all of you. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to do so. Also, I have all of my usual BLM links in the description down below, so go check those out and let's get on to the video. So as you can see, my passion twists are not looking exactly the same as they did when I first put them in. So like here, I don't know if you can tell, like it's looking, I have to look in the mirror to like check, but it's looking a little scraggly. There's like, you know, definitely pieces of my regular hair that are kind of showing through. Also, I feel like, I don't know, not that there's like new growth so much, but obviously the rubber bands are going to slip a little bit, so it's not going to look as tight at the bottom 2 weeks in as it did when I just did them. I've worn patch twists before, so I knew all this was going to happen. The hair does not look the same 2 weeks in as it does when you first do it. When you first do it, it's very clear that it's like individual strands and the curl is like much more defined. And then you wear it, and because it's like curly hair and it's synthetic, it's going to start to kind of become more of a mass in certain places. That's just how it is. So 2 weeks compared to when I first did them. It's actually 2.5 weeks, but yeah. Okay, so now on how to actually refresh your twists. So I found that there's like one super temporary method just to kind of like hide some of your hairs that have come out. And there's a less invasive method that does still require some twisting. And there's like the total redo basically of whatever twist you need to do. And I mean, if you're really trying to refresh your twist, you're probably going to have to retwist them. Like that's just how it is for me. I think especially if you do the rubber band method, because you can't really like twist at the base because that's not how you put them in. But you know, it's not that hard, especially with the jumbo twist. I feel like it went a lot quicker. I already tried like 1 or 2, and I'll show a picture of the less invasive method that I did right here. And so yeah, like I feel like there's a pretty big difference between this and this. Yeah, like I feel like that's pretty good. And at least for the next 2 weeks while I still kind of like keep the style in before I totally get rid of it, I think that that's like a pretty good refreshing. Okay, so the first method is literally just using your crochet hook to kind of hide some of the pieces of hair that have slipped out. So you can see that this twist kind of has some pieces of my actual hair kind of like coming out at certain points. Like here, there, hopefully you can see that. And so I just want to fix that like really quickly, maybe before I go out for a second or I'm taking a picture or whatever, but it's not worth the full retwist. So I'll just take my crochet hook and put it through and then grab a little bit of my actual hair, loop it through, and then pull it. And you might have to do this a couple times, going further down to make sure that it like stays within the entire twist. But that's just like really quick. It's still, you know, this twist still looks a little raggedy. Like I said, like I would still retwist this later on to refresh it, but if you're just doing it for a second, like it's really easy, and it means that you can kind of just fix those little things that are annoying you instead of like having to do a full retwist in that moment. Okay, so that was the easy one. But now I'm going to show you one of the ways that actually requires retwisting, but it doesn't take as much time because you're retwisting, but you're not taking the hair out again. This twist here, if you can see, is definitely getting kind of like raggedy. It's not as like tight to the base, and there's definitely some places where the hair is coming out here. However, because it's not like right up front, I don't feel like I need to do the entire retwist over again. I just kind of want to do it so I can pull it closer to my head. So I'm going to take the twist and just completely undo it. So I'm going to untwist it basically all the way up, and then let me turn so you can see. There will be a point basically where you realize, okay, this is my actual like natural hair, and this is the synthetic hair. And it helps if you have a mirror. So there's one, and then I want to make sure the other one is unfurled. Okay, so now it should look like this, where you can see like each half of the passion twist hair and each half of your actual hair. And you should kind of be able to pull it through like this. That's how you know that you've gotten right to the base. So all that I'm going to do is just take the two halves and pull a little bit at it, kind of pull the rubber band down too. Let me see if you can move closer so you can see. Okay, I moved it down a little bit, so hopefully you can see. So all I'm gonna do is just take these two strands of my actual hair and pull them so it's tighter. And I'm also going to kind of like pull at the rubber band. You should be able to feel it, and just pull that down a little bit too. You should be able to feel that it's like getting a little bit tighter. Not too much though, just enough that you kind of feel like it's at a point where you'd be cool with. So this is definitely, I can feel that it's tighter against, it's not as tight as when I first did it, but it is more so than it was like 5 minutes ago. It's a little bit hard to pull this through. I'm basically just going to retwist the same way that I did when I originally did them. And then since I'm also retwisting the hair all the way down, it should look a little bit smoother and cleaner than it did before. So yeah, this does look a little bit cleaner than before. There's still some, you know, areas, but if you look up here, it's definitely closer to my head than it was before. And also I feel like the overall kind of like twist is a lot cleaner. So yeah, I feel like that's a success. So I'll show you another twist so that you can see it again. So I feel like I did most of the ones that I needed to with the method that took less time. I really did that for like the second row. I'll probably do that for the third and fourth row later, but for right now I'm really focusing on the first two rows that you can see in pictures and videos and all of that. So now I'm going to do the front section, and for that I do feel like I need to completely take it out and retwist because I want to clean up the parting in the front section. So because the hair got like looser, as it does, it means that there's a lot of like little bits here that were really like within the rubber band the first time around and now just aren't. And so I want to make sure that not only am I making the actual twist itself and kind of like the area near the base pretty clean, but I want like the sections themselves to be clean. So I need to completely redo it again. So I'm going to show you with this twist. So it's also fuzzy kind of along the twist. So most of this is going to be exactly the same as the other ones that I did. I'm untwisting it and then also taking my hair out. And it's at a point where I can pull the hair through. And with the other ones at this point, what I did is just tightened it and retwisted. But I'm actually going to fully take the hair out, just pulling it through. And it still is going to stay in this like one long twist basically, because the like 7 different strands that I used have kind of locked together. And so then I'm just going to take the rubber band out of the hair. So I'm going to take my Shine and Jam just like I did the first time I installed the twist. Just use that, really making sure that the parts are clean. And I'm going to take my rubber band again and just do it exactly the way I did last time. So now that I have my section again, I'm just going to take the twist that I used, and it should be pretty easy to find the middle again because you just took it out, but basically just making sure that they're pretty lined up. I feel like it's almost easier in some ways because before you had to deal with like 7 different strands of hair, whereas this one is really locked up into just one strand. I feel like that looks a lot better. It's much closer to my head than it was before. Also, I feel like the actual twist is a lot cleaner. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that for the other parts at the front that I feel like need it. Okay, so that's it. As you can see, I put on my eyebrows and a little bit of makeup because it wasn't until I was like halfway through doing my hair that I realized I completely forgot to do my eyebrows and I wasn't gonna get up midway through the video. So here it is. This is my face for the outro and probably the intro. Yeah, I think that the twists turned out really well. Like, granted, they don't look exactly like they did when I did them the first time, but like, they look pretty good. I feel like definitely the sectioning looks better and the twists themselves look better, and yeah, I'm very pleased with how the refresh of them turned out, and I think that I'll probably be able to keep this up for the next 2 weeks. So I'll also keep this in mind if I ever do passion twist again, that like halfway through to this process you can use the same hair. And yeah, I'm glad that's the video. So I hope you liked it. If you did, please remember to like, comment down below, and subscribe. Also, I have a bunch of other videos that you can check out, a bunch of playlists, so please go look at those and hopefully you enjoy them, and I'll see you next time. Bye!